My name is Francisco Lopez, and I think I'm a composer. Some people agree, some of the people wouldn't agree with that. In any case, I work with sound. I work with sound recordings that I do myself, and then I would say freely work with that material, and I freely think about my relationship with the world through sound, which is the reason why I work with sound and I compose with sound, I create with sound. My relationship with those machines is a relationship that I will consider of friendship, allegorically or metaphorically speaking, in the sense that I like to appreciate the qualities they bring in terms of, like I said before, in terms of what they contribute to us that we cannot do by ourselves. And this is not a question of resolution, but I think is a misleading attention to machines is to think of oh, this machine is technically better because the resolution is higher, and we want more and more and more resolution. I think that is a funny, misleading, or at least not the most interesting aspect of what machines can provide. All sound recording, and I would say all visual recording, is egocentric. It's based on the idea that there is a viewer or a listener in one position, and logically, this is logical, and this viewer or listener is viewing or listening the world. This is egocentric, literally egocentric. And that's not a judgment, it's a technical description of what it is. If you have several machines that are simultaneous and in a certain space, you could be allocentric, which is the way I work. And allocentric means that several machines provide you with simultaneous perspectives on the same space at the same time, which is something that none of us could do individually. And then they create this together. They can create this allocentric perspective of a space that will be not clearly distinguishable from the egocentric one. I only work with recordings. I do my own recordings, some environments and things in the world. And the more I record, the more I realize that the world is very different to what we normally think when we think of the world visually. And so that's why there will be no visuals, and also that's why you have blindfolds. I'm much more interested in multimedia inside the body than outside of the body. And the multimedia inside of the body is what happens when you have a voluntary temporary blockage or switching off of some of the other senses, and then you discover, how much is happening inside. Sometimes I choose sounds, sometimes the sounds choose me.
How do they choose you?
Because they happen to be where I am, or I happen to be where they are, in a way. So I don't choose so much, really. I have my personal taste, like anyone else, of course, but I have a very open, I would say a very open take on what to record or what to expect or not expect. And I like to have no very clear expectations. I like diverse environments. I like environments that are complex sonically. I like dynamics that are dramatic and rich. I like those things, and so sometimes I'm attracted to particular environments because of those features. But I do not go in the field and trying to record something specific. So one thing that I definitely cannot do, personally, is to perform on a stage. I cannot do that, for many reasons. In terms of acoustics, or in terms of sound work, not just acoustics, I cannot perform on a stage, because when you perform on stage, your reference of sound is the monitors that you have on stage. All musicians work with monitors on stage. Those monitors give you a reference of the sound, which is completely different from the sound that the audience is hearing. And I cannot work that way. I work in the space, and I want to be, in that sense, with the audience. I want to hear what the audience is hearing.
It's also up to you to create music out of sound. I'm one of those people who think that music is a way of listening, is an act of listening. It's not an act of producing sounds, of generating sounds, or playing instruments, whether traditional or electronic or any kind. So I think the responsibility, the challenge, and the joy of creating the music is in your hands, in your ears, and in your spirit.